Hello, good evening, and welcome to this exclusive and very special SLN show. I am Swaroop Rawal, and I am a mentor on to SLN along with Francis and Farzana. So, SLN Show is being conducted by SLN Global Network, which works for the development of the public and private school systems in the country. It's purely based on the power of relationships and collaborations. And that is what makes it really beautiful. The community partners of today's SLN show is rather Unimo Universe of Moms and Mumo Mumbai Moms, one of the world's largest community of mothers with 4 lakh plus mummies. That's a lot of mummies. Today's guest is very special to all of us at the SLN show, and for me, it's a huge fan moment. Today, I'm going to introduce you, and we're going to talk to India's top cop. Tough, innovative, committed to social change are the few words that I can say for her. She is India's first and highest ranking woman officer in the Indian Police Service, a social activist, a former tennis player, and presently the Honorary Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry. I have the uttermost honor to invite Dr. Kiran Bedi to our SLN show. Welcome, Kiranji. I am so thrilled to be here. And I think we're going to have a great time chatting because I have met you once before, and I have seen lots of your interviews, and I just love your infectious smile. Your eyes just light up, and I know you're something else. So, welcome.
Thank you, Swaroop.
I'm going to begin by saying that there will and continue to be clear effects of coronavirus on children's education, social life, physical and mental health. Though they're not clearly visible right now, we will have to tackle all this. COVID 19 is here to stay for some time. Anxiety that may lead to domestic violence, children experiencing and witnessing violence. What is your advice? How do you feel that they should be able to tackle all this that's happening to their homes when they get out in the world?
Is this addressed to parents, principals, or teachers?
So this is teachers, principals, and parents. But I think you should not think of principals as parents. I mean, principals as principals. You can think of them as parents and just normal Indian citizens. But in fact, I would like to say that we're going international too. So I think you would just address all of this to parents.
I still need to have a focus. Am I speaking to students or am I need
No.
mothers?
Yes, older people. You're speaking to parents and teachers. Yes.
Look, we are all at different stages of our own internal development. All of us.
Yes.
And none of us were prepared for the situation we face today.
True.
Therefore, we are all at different level of life. Somebody is in a graduate level of understanding life, and somebody's been succeeding and somebody's not. But I think that this is an amazing challenge. It's like being put at war. We are put at war. We don't have the weapons yet. Some had a weapon and some didn't have a weapon. But we're all on the battlefield. We are all today, while the warriors in white are fighting for us in the hospitals, and the warriors in khaki are fighting for us on the streets as police. We are also warriors at home, but none of us were trained to fight this kind of war because we're all dislodged. All of us are being thrown off the feet. We're all tossed out. So therefore, but what happens, what lies ahead is a question is, while we're all at different stages of understanding life, we're all thrown off guard And now we have a personal responsibility, and we also have a responsibility of the generation we have produced. So the question is, what do we do? What do we do? Who can help us? Where do we go? Nobody can help us. There's nowhere to go. We only have to help our own selves. And while helping our own selves, we have to help the generation we brought. As a parent, the child; as a teacher, the students. So I do feel that we all have to self assess ourselves. How were we dealing with our anxieties? How were we dealing with our problems of life
It's true.
before we were thrown off guard?
Yes.
That's where we are. It's like marking our own selves. We have to grade our own selves. What was the way we were leading our life? How were we dealing with our miseries? How do we dealing with our challenges? How we were dealing with situations which are uncomfortable? I think everybody is different. Therefore, everybody's reaction and response is going to be different. And therefore, to preach everybody be calm, everybody be fine, everybody, I think it's different. So I think the solutions lie within, because we have to go on. And the war is all of us in it together. There is no general here in the army. Here, there is no general. There is no major general. There's no chief of army staff. It's all of us, chief of army staff for ourselves, because we're all fighting our internal war. So, first, we have to be winners and managing our own selves before we manage others. So
That's
if
true.
we're talking of mothers, then we first have to manage our own selves. That means we have to accept the reality of what is. What is. I think what is. And that if we are ourselves not comfortable with what is, how can we tell the other to be comfortable? So that means we have to learn the basics, lessons of our own lives. And each one was at a different level. This is my opening statement. So, us, first of all, would be assess our own selves. How were we dealing with our anxieties? How were we dealing with discomfort? How were we dealing with inadequacies of our own lives before we pass on any answer to our next generation, which we have?
Ma'am, I was reading one very interesting thing about you and how you were in the peacekeeping squad and you helped build lots of countries' policing from scratch. So you would wonder why I'm raising this topic right now, because it's not about policing that I want to know. I want to know because I feel you're one of the most incredible creative thinkers I have really met. And these are the people, these are the type of things we're going to need because private schools are going to be conducting online learning, but the family of the children that are underserved, as you say, the children that are underserved have limited access to food. They don't have internet, they don't have these devices. How are we going to ensure that these underserved children keep learning? Again, I'm asking you this question not only because you're such a beautiful, creative thinker, but you're also very interested in education. I think it's a beautiful combination where we have this policing person who's interested in education, and that is why my question to you is directed to our education problem. How are we going to get our underserved children? You know, how are we going to, education should not be lost. So, what is your take on that, ma'am?
I think we first have to address the teachers before they reach the underserved. And number two, underserved may not have the technology yet. Understand, underserved may not have the tablet. Understand, underserved may not have the internet with them yet. So that is going to be dependent on the now providing policies by societies, by NGOs, by the government policies. Like, for instance, recently I read that they are sanctioning 5 to 6,000 rupees for children of the underserved to get a tablet. Where is the tablet? Is it in the market? Is it in their hands? And where is the 6,000? Is it gone into their accounts? Are their Aadhaar accounts linked? So, if you're talking about the underserved, underserved were being taught in a large crowd manner and by one teacher. right? And even their midday meal was given, their scholarship was given, their uniform was given, their books were given. Because I know in Pondicherry, we have all the government schools are by and large for the underserved. And regrettably, half of their parents are alcoholics. Half of their fathers are taking to the bottle. So they earn money, daily wager, and the daily wager is out again drinking away. He is not concerned. I have done this survey myself. When I went to this kind of an underserved school, and I talked to these children, and I asked them, what do your parents do? And he said, my father is such and such, whatever, the that kind of a level of work, which is like hand to mouth, right? What does your mother do? My mother is a homemaker. Or he would say, my mother was a coolie. So she's too is a daily wage work. So she's not at home by the time he returns. So neither is the father there, and nor is the mother there. And but there's a teacher there. The teacher is engaging them and giving them a midday meal. Now tell me, if they are at home, who is going to give them the midday meal? And midday meal was nutrition. Midday meal meant the banana, the milk, the
Yeah.
egg,
The
right?
kitchen, yeah,
And they got the books. Now, are we going to deliver? That's a challenge before the society today. Is the underserved going to be delivered a tablet at home? Is the underserved going to be served? Will he get his nutritious midday meal? Because I know our children, when they come to school, they first drink a glass of milk, and then they get the afternoon meal, which is so many other fruits and banana. So their basic nutrition is being taken care of.
yeah,
Now, when they are back home, these underserved children are the biggest losers,
yeah,
because they neither have the internet, and nor do they have the nutrition. And nutrition is not free rice and dal and pulses. The child is needing everything which the by which his eyes, his bones, his calcium, his growth, his development, mind, body, soul, everything's developed. So therefore, it's a very big challenge. I don't have the answer because it's financial. And
true.
today, everybody is cash strapped because there's no income generated right now. So when there's no income generated, right? How do we connect these children? How do we give them the wherewithal and the tools? So it depends on who are you connecting with. If you're connecting with the middle class, then you see them on television. They have a mother, they have a father on the side, they have a computer, and they're already working, and they are being addressed. So there's a particular strata of society which will get addressed, which
Yeah,
is already IT savvy. But this generation, which is dependent on that single teacher, and on dependent on their nutritious meal, and even the books, and also the teacher, because they didn't have a teacher at home. Many of these middle class children have a teacher at home.
yeah,
There's some their mothers are because both are educated. So therefore, I think it's going to be the bigger challenge of a bigger hit of this COVID-19. Biggest hit is of the underprivileged children who do not have the wherewithal. And the answer to the wherewithal is money. Money, diet costs money, technology costs money, right? So that hasn't been found yet,
yeah,
and it's too early to declare the result, because it's only less than 2 months ago now.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
less than two
true.
months ago.
Yeah,
I have no doubt that government of India and the respective states will come up with policies. But do you know, even the respective states don't have the money. Do you know the source of revenue of most of the states is liquor today?
oh,
Immediate is liquor.
yeah,
It's immediate is not manufacturing,
true.
because by the time you manufacture, right, labor is gone. So if
Yeah,
you, by the time you manufacture and you sell, where is the purchasing power? Where's the consumer? The only thing which is being immediately sold off the shelf are groceries,
yeah,
food, right?
yeah,
Those
yeah,
who have money, they buy, and even they dependent on their savings. So we are going through an amazingly tossed out a situation. So you talking of something which is little far away, the solution is little far away. So how do we get them also? Because of social distancing, you can't even bunch them together. You can't
Exactly.
bring them together.
That's so true. Ma'am, I teach.
Answer
Sorry.
is television. Answer to my mind is television class,
Right.
TV class, where at least they're watching a television. So that means the Doordarshan channel dedicates itself to it becomes a classroom because all these children have a television at home. That's the only thing they have is a television.
True.
Secondly, the children have bank accounts. So
Yeah.
if we can transfer money for their nutrition and they could pick up the right essentials which they were getting. I do believe there was a news item a few days ago where they were looking at um, uh, midday meal transfer money to the children. Now, how do they do it? If they pass it on to the parent may spend it on something else which is more essential for the family. So I think these are the challenges. So I think what idea emerges for me while talking to you is maybe the Doordarshan starts running classes because Doordarshan is in every home. And
Yes.
Doordarshan doesn't also need internet only. It can go
Yeah.
to the channel and get it, and it's free.
Yes.
So to my mind, off the cuff, this appears to be a possibility till
That,
other resources are in place.
yes. So I'll just share a little bit about myself because you just talked about physical distancing and social distancing. I teach life skills and I teach it through drama, that is experiential learning. So, yeah, life skills, Jeevan Kaushal. So today in the morning, ma'am, I got up and I suddenly realized, oh my God, how is my class going to look like? Because I cannot possibly teach that through social distancing. Because, when I'm doing a blind walk, people are holding each other and doing the blind walk, which one is blind and one is the guide. So I think we teachers have got to going to be changing. We have to change the way we teach. Of course, this is still another 2-3 months away when colleges and schools reopen, especially schools. So, ma'am, I would like you to give a message to the teachers, something to them, something for them to start thinking about that when they get back to their classrooms, how are they going to handle special now I take it as that not only the underserved but all the children are going to come with a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear, being away for 6-7 months, hearing so much of death. So what's your message to the teachers, ma'am?
So first of all, when you were talking about children, let's stop bracketing them. Even teachers, even in teachers, you have teachers of which class? Teachers of children, teachers of the middle class, teachers of the upper classes. So which you have also subject teachers. But there's one common thing which within the teachers is eh, train life skills.
Yes.
More than the subject, every subject that you teach, train convert that into a life skill. Every subject has a meaning of a life skill. So why are you studying? It's not for passing an examination anymore.
True,
It's
true.
to live a life
Yes.
and to survive. So live and survive and thrive. So from survive to thrive. So how do you survive and thrive at the moment? At the moment, the survival is at stake. So I think first of all, the message to teachers is old models will not work. Old methods of teaching will not work. Now we also have to change the pattern, the way we communicate, because now it's not direct eye contact. It's through the digital. So you're not able to see the expressions of your children. You're not able to see who's yawning away, who's not, you're not able to see who slept away, who's, you're not even say somebody may have disappeared and may have gone. So what kind of, therefore, I think even the teachers, you need to start doing, first of all, teachers learning programs before you pass on to the children.
True.
And you know what? Teachers themselves will train each other, not you and I.
True.
Let each teacher work through a life's experience to say, how are you doing it?
Yes.
How are you conveying it? And let make every teacher a trainer through these classrooms. And since they are in lockdown period, And in the lockdown period, how did they handle? Learn from each other. Don't now monopolize training to one person. Spread it out, make it democratic, and ask each teacher to come before the camera and share with the rest of the teachers how did they cope, what did they do, what made them succeed, and let them learn through a shared as life's experience, learn from each other.
That's really beautiful. And I think we all going to take this message, learn from each other, make it democratic. And we now can't be exclusive. We just have to make it inclusive. There was another phrase which you have used very often, and that is the power to prevent. And I'm going to use that for a very different way. With this internet comes a lot of peculiar problems. How are we going to safeguard our children online?
Uh, just as television, remember when the internet became open, we had the TV lock, we had the
Yes.
sun locking system
Child lock, yeah.
called, what is it called, lock?
Child
Child.
lock.
We
Yes.
need to have internet lock. We also now need that kind of a lock so that we can track the child of how is he or she using the internet. Hope he's not got on a porno site. I hope he's not gone on a chat which is bullying, which is called at the moment the bullying happened. So now we're categorizing and addressing those children who have access to a smartphone, right? In that access to the smartphone, we may have to be very careful. That's why I'm saying now it's watch. Now it's not teaching, it's watch. How do the parents become very careful watchers? It's not policing inside, it's not headmastery. Okay, it's watch, it's care, it's in a way being careful what the child is doing. So it's being keeping the eye, and yet the child doesn't feel that the child is being monitored all the time. So it's enabling and training the child to make better choices, explain, communicate, and make them choose the better options, because internet now gives all options: knowledge, skill, and rubbish. It gives everything.
That's really good. That's a very, very nice idea. Now I'm going to ask you something which is a little bit of difficult, but I mean, not for you to answer, but we have to think about this. It's going to be a difficulty we're going to face. What are the leadership skills that every principal and teacher will now have to harness to tackle medical emergencies in future? You see, this COVID is going to stay for a long time, I feel, and we're going to have a lot of medical emergencies. So, what do you say about this, ma'am? How do we as leaders tackle in schools, tackle emergencies, medical emergencies?
At the moment, prevention is very important. That is why when the society opens up, ensure proper self stay masking. Begin with the mask so that you don't breathe each other, you don't suffer each other's cough, you don't suffer each other's sneeze, you don't suffer each other's vapor. Hand cleaning your own so that you don't uh, infect your own eyes, you don't infect your own nose. So your own hand cleaning. Prevention from other is the mask. Self prevention is sanitation, right? This is second. Third is social distancing. When you make a class sit, keep the 2 meters away. So that means you will have to have a class which is smaller, right? You can still make them play games by keep. So social distancing has to be explained to them. So that's prevention. So key is prevention now. And fourth, if the child is showing any symptoms, then immediately take them to the hospital, because early detection is prevention. Because whoever has been detected early, even in this COVID, has survived. So that means quarantining. So early quarantining, early, that means visit to the hospital, where hospital takes. I think this is a challenge we have for the next 2 years or year, I think, till a proper medicine. So here, look, life is long. We've come all the way. It's 2020. People have survived from BC to before Christ and after Christ. Life has gone on. We've gone through a lot of pandemics. We've gone through world wars. We've gone through plagues. We've gone through partitions. We've gone through migration, Kashmiris thrown out. We've gone through lots of situations. The only issue was it was regional. But today, it's affecting everybody,
Yes.
all 7 billion people.
Yes.
Everybody is in the same situation, whether it's a child or an older. So, therefore, prevention is very, very important. And you cannot take chances with anything, anybody, whether it's sanitation and whether it's social distancing, right? Whether it's your own early detection and prevention. So, while you continue to grow, because life is not going to stand still, you continue to listen, read, acquire knowledge. You continue to acquire knowledge,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And you have to pass an examination. So you continue to learn IT. So I think that's awareness. It's not the marks now. It's going to be getting the skill to deal with challenges.
That's true. So, I like to use this word new normal more than the next normal. So, how would you define the new normal, ma'am?
There's nothing normal or new normal. That was real. This is real. And what comes tomorrow will be real. What is? It's no new normal. That was real as it was, but now it's past. What is
True.
real now is this, what is before us. So there's no new normal. This is normal already, because this is the reality of the moment.
Yes. So, the last is in the house. Right now, all the parents are at home. So, what do you think the parents should be? Do you think they should be teaching the children? Should they be working with the children? Should they playing with the children? I don't think these lost school days should not be lost days for this generation, and it's like 1.2 billion worldwide. So, what do you say about that, ma'am? What do you think parents should be doing with their children?
I think they have to be very selective on the programs they watch on the television. Today, television gives you a very great variety of skill, debates, knowledge, environment, messaging. I think they need to alter their habits of watching the kind of programs they see on television uh, as per the needs of their children. Now, that's a sacrifice, that's an adjustment. They can't be using adult films in there when they are the very severe adult films. They need to alter it. That means now it's a homeschool. It's a homeschool. And they are
True.
the teachers now. They're the principals of the homeschool. So how will a principal behave in a homeschool? They are the principals of the homeschool. So if they want to watch something which is suiting them, then they have to find other means of doing it. Not feed the same thing. Don't make children adult while they're with you. Let the childhood remain with them. Watch children channel, a children film, the nature films, or knowledgeable, but not adult television imposed on the children, because these children otherwise will become fast forwarded and they'll have lost their childhood.
So, ma'am, we have one lovely young child who would like to ask you the first question. And I would like to know, Francis, if he's come. Master Rishi Dasani from grade 2, a student of Shishu Vihar School, Chinchpokli. And he would like to ask you the first question before I throw all the questions to the public.
Yes,
Yes,
bete.
dear.
Pucho, ask me, bete, ask.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, carry on.
I am Rishi Dasani. I am Rishi Dasani.
What is the question? Acha, acha. What's your name?
I am Rishi Dasani from Shishu Vihar School, Chinchpokli, Mumbai.
Thank you. Yes, tell me, what would you like to talk? What would you like to say to me?
You are our family role model. Can
Oh,
you give me one advice? How can I fulfill my dream like you have?
oh, so sweet. You are so beautiful. You, can I hug you? Can I hug you? Okay, do this. Hug you? Yeah. Now this is hugging each other. Haven't I hugged you? I've hugged you, right? Yeah, I'm crushing you. I hug you, right? You got a hug? Have you got a hug? You got a, have you felt my hug? Have you felt my warmth and my blessings for you? Thank you for the hug back. Now, how can you do this is to use your time well. It's like an extended summer vacation. Read all your school books 3 times over. Be your own teacher. Read your own books. Just start reading your own books. When I was small, my mother used to give me the school books of the next class. So in summer vacation, I used to start reading my books already. So before I would go to school, I would have already read my books. I knew my story. I knew my books. So it was very easy to understand when the teacher taught. So if you can read in advance, that is new, that is being very sharp and the brightest. If you do that, read your own books, read your brothers and sisters books, read other story books. If you read a lot, you'll have, and learn a lot of it, learn self-learning online, learn self-learning online programs. If you read and learn online, you will be ahead in your class. Understood?
Thank you, ma'am.
That's really nice. And I just love what you said. And there was something very nice that I read about you is about how you said that you learned self discipline at the breakfast table. So please, ma'am, I know this is not a question on my list, but do please tell us a bit about that. Tell me, take us to your breakfast table when you were young and how you sat and chatted with your parents. Can you please tell us a bit about that?
Our parents had made the home um, an island of peace and spirituality. There's everything spiritual there, everything truthful. There were no lies, no falsehood, no hypocrisy, and there's uh, no whining for more. It was valuing what you have
True.
and using to the best what you have. So
Right.
every time the value system was exuding from the parents. So my
Yes.
parents didn't have to say, look, be truthful, because I saw them being truthful. Be giving, I saw them being giving, right? Be hardworking, I saw them hardworking. Okay, and my mother, very conscientious, I saw her being very conscientious. So I think my father said, read, I saw him reading all the time. So what I'm saying is, the table ours was a shared value system. They didn't have to say be like this. They were like this. So if it's in the hands of the parents, they create an environment of which environment seeps into you. It enters into you. So I think if ball comes back in the court of parents. But yes, there was a dialogue. My parents used to ask me, "Aaj kya kiya? Aaj kya hua? आज क्या हुआ? आज मेरे साथ इसने ये सी किया, क्यों किया उसने? So we were like problem solving and
That's right.
solutions were thrown back to us. saying अच्छा किया, तो अगर डैडी पास में होते तो तुम डैडी तुम्हें क्या बोलते? तो हाँ मैं कहती डैडी मुझे ये बोलते, तो फिर ये करना था. You see?
Correct.
So
Yes.
it was like training to give us training to help us find our own solutions.
That's right.
While it was an island of peace and harmony, and purity. So I think it's this is the way the child is. It's like teacher. Okay,
Yes.
this is your solution. You tell me. You are hand holding, but you are imbibing that बच्चा खुद सीख रहा है, वो खुद
Hmm.
समझ रहा है, वो खुद कर रहा है,
Correct.
और वो कहेगा मैडम मुझे आता था. हाँ तुम्हें तो आता था, देखा तुमको आता था, अब तो तुम दूसरों को भी सिखा सकते हो. So this is called confidence giving to the child. So a lot depends on the parents' guidance. It's not tutoring, it's helping them self learn.
Exactly, and that's something I find very fascinating because a lot of parents don't allow their children to do problem solving, like you just said. That by this questioning and by the decisions that you took, whether they were good or not, and they were evaluated. I really think this is a beautiful point, and I'm sure a lot of the parents who are listening to this are going to take this message back with them. And now I would like to throw the questions to the people who are listening to us. So, the first question is, ma'am, if you can share briefly how schools can play a social role during these challenging times. Shall I repeat this question for you, ma'am? Ma'am, can you share briefly how schools can play a social role during these challenging times?
How is education not social? Your whole
Yeah,
education is social skills. So how is it different? How can you separate social from education? Education is comprehensive, and education is not mathematics only. Even mathematics is problem solving. So what I'm saying is, how is so? So how do you communicate? How do you build relationships? How do you develop good character? Isn't this all social? It's making you a better social human being. That's education. How is
true.
education only subjects? Education is a whole development of a whole mind, a body, soul. It's a whole being. It's a comprehensive learning of behavior.
That's
You
right.
are, through subjects, teaching behavior.
That's right. So, can we have the next question? Ma'am, they're worried about screen time faced by children. It's very hard to stop them. And now, screen time, I guess, is going to become much more with them learning on screen. So, Kiran, ma'am, the question to you is that they're very worried about screen time faced by children. It's very hard to stop them. And, a tennis player that you were, would you like to tell us about that a bit with this? I know that you play a lot of uh, honor to sports and believe sports is great learning. So, can you share something about that, ma'am?
I guess every in such a situation, an internal home discipline will help.
Right.
Doing yoga time,
Yeah,
prayer time, food time, where everybody puts aside their phones.
that's good.
And there is a watch time, a television time. Otherwise, the television is also switched off. There's a chat time.
Yes,
There's a reading time. So if there
true.
can be a reading time, a chat time, a prayer time, a sports time, an indoor game time. Now you can play indoor games. Unfortunately, you can't go out for a while, for some time now. Till you can't go out, get on to indoor games, learn games. But we must stay away from the screen for after a while and not overdo the screen time.
Yes.
That's not good for the eyes.
Definitely. Not good for the eyes, not good for the health too. Because
Yeah,
then you become couch potatoes, right?
yeah.
And for a person who's as fit as you,
Therefore,
I'm sure.
for the health of eyes, for the health
Yes,
of good eyes, we have to switch off screen time as well,
that's true. Yes.
whether it's the television or whether it's the iPhone or the phone.
Phones, yes,
That
definitely.
means we get to reading, we get to chatting, we get to praying, we get to yoga, right? And we
Yes.
get even mutual learning from each other because elders are at home to teach you something.
Yes, and there's so much learning from elders, isn't there, ma'am?
So
Yes.
it's using holiday time. It's a holiday
Actually,
time.
yes, and like one of the suggestions I've made was, I'm sure you would like that too, is that now's the time to catch up with all the old people and the elders that you didn't talk to all this time. And there's so much learning from them, isn't it true? Yes,
Yes. And it's time to read our Upanishads. It's a time to
yes,
read Gita. It's a time to read the Vedas. It's
that's
very good. It's a
good.
great time for parents to read it to the children.
Yes, definitely, yes.
Learn a language, teach a language.
That's great. That's nice. Thank you, ma'am.
We could make a checklist. What all will we do together?
Yes, and
And
real
why
good.
not cook together? Why not cook together? Somebody cleans, somebody cuts, somebody cooks. You see, and somebody lays the table, somebody cleans. So it's like cooking together, eating
That's
together. So,
true.
so many
That's true.
group activities can be done.
Definitely, yes.
Somebody washes, somebody irons, somebody places. So it's like a group activity together. So you do group activities in school. Why not do group activity at home?
That's nice. So, can we have the next question? Ma'am, could you give us the secret? Oh, this is beautiful. Ma'am, could you give us the secret of how to be brave like you?
How to be brave.
Brave. I love that.
Bravery is coming. Bravery doesn't come overnight. It is by doing all the time. Decision making is bravery.
Okay.
Courage comes by daring, by happening. And you start, this is it, problem. When you dare to stretch a little more, that's when courage and bravery comes in. And
Correct.
then also being inspired, reading. So when you get inspiration, that's why reading very good stories from the net today, telling a story, reading a story, and
Yes,
maybe seeing some wonderful programs which are available on brave people. So seeing, doing, feeling, hearing, and getting inspired, and then starting early.
that's really nice. Thank you. I'm going to hold that very close to my heart. And the next question, please. What are the most important life skills to live a happy life? Ma'am, the question is, what are the most important life skills to live a happy life?
Now, whose life are you dealing with? Child, adult, middle age,
Um,
senior, man, or woman?
woman,
Even though life is life is being alive, right?
correct.
But you see, life skill is situational too.
Yes,
Life skill is situational too. But I think it's finally coming to become awareness. Biggest life skill is aware of yourself, or what is happening to you. What are
yes,
you doing around you? It's awareness, generating, and is being self-witness. Life skill is aware. Listen to yourself, see yourself, hear, feel yourself, understand yourself,
yes.
observe yourself. Are you getting angry? Are you greedy? Are you impatient? Are you telling lies? I think the biggest skill is being your own. It's called self policing.
Ah, that's nice. Yes. And then when you self police, then you have this great society where you don't need outsiders to tell us what to do, whether to follow laws or not. And like Aristotle said, that the best and the most important understanding is that of the self. So that's exactly what you have said, isn't
Self
it?
policing.
Yes, that's true.
The child can self police
Yes,
because then he's not looking at the other, he's not cheating,
yes,
he's clean, he's doing his homework, he's keeping the books, he's keeping things right. That's a child life skill. But
yes.
one common life skill which can go across all ages is learning self observation.
That's great. That's a super tip. Can we have the next question, please? Teachers are new to online learning. They feel stressed as they have to manage home and school at home together. Means being at home, they have to manage their home and they go to manage their school at home together. So, what do you have to say about that, ma'am?
Well, that
This,
depends on how they organize themselves. Everybody's home environment is different.
yes,
Some are single parents, some have just the mother, father, some have elders, some have older children, but they're all into school. So I think it's all about adjustment, getting up early, finishing work after school, what you can postpone after school time. I think that is all about intern individual home management. What is priority? What is urgent? What is important? Rest of the
correct.
things have to take shape. So it's like your personal management. Personal, there's no one answer. But what is important has to be given priority, and
That's
rest of the
true.
things will follow.
Yep. So you need to prioritize and you need to do a lot of time management. I'm
That's
sure you did a lot of time management, ma'am. You brought up this beautiful daughter of yours while you were working, and I saw this interview of hers where she said she thinks you're the cutest and the funniest mom, and she did not at all feel neglected in spite of you working so much. Can you share something about that? I'm sure you would inspire a lot of mothers, by telling us a little bit of your story in that.
You see, mine was an extended home. I had my
Yes,
parents with me,
right,
sisters with me. So I had a family. It was a family living.
right.
So she had more than one mother.
Okay,
So that is what how it saved my profession is because she had the mother and the mother.
Yes.
So therefore, having both a working mother and a home mother,
Yes.
grandmothers dote much more on the grandchildren.
That's true.
So I think that way she was gifted and blessed that she had grandmother attending to her 24/7 while I work 24/7.
Yes,
So I think that's how she was blessed. Though everybody's home is not in the same position as I was,
I
but
know.
that's how very exceptional it was.
Yes, my mother is a surgical oncologist and she works. Of course, not as much as you because she had like worked in the lab and but I never resented her working and I found that very similar when your daughter was talking about you and about how proud she is that you were a working mother. So this is I think very inspiring for mothers who are working and bringing up children. So can we have a next question please? I am a government school principal. So, ma'am, this is a government school principal, and I'm afraid during this epidemic time, my students are facing abusive alcoholic environments. Can you please give ideas to teachers how they can help children who come from these abusive alcoholic environments?
This is exactly what I began with.
Yes, you did. That's true.
These homes, which are the most vulnerable today,
Yeah,
domestic violence or family violence, where parents do not know how to behave themselves.
yeah.
I think these are the children who need to be taken away from them.
Okay,
Call up police. When they have their father drink and misbehave, they must call up 100. Police
okay.
will come, family counseling centers will come, family counselors will come. They can call child helpline, but they must seek help. They cannot live in abusive relationship. So therefore, that's the parent, the teacher, when the teacher connects with the child, must ask a question: Are you all right? And talk to the parents also while addressing them for a class. Find out what they're doing. It's very, very important because children are becoming witness to the bad habits sometimes of their parents. So therefore, the child needs help, but the child will not complain
Yes,
because
yes.
he doesn't want the father to be affected. I think this is the uh, biggest challenge in a lockdown is children witnessing family violence.
Yes, and that's something that a lot of people are not addressing. And I think this advice of calling 100 is a very good idea. And it's a good advice so we can spread that message, that yes, the police will come to help you.
There's a family counseling centers linked with them. So
Oh,
they should say, I need family counseling help. So counselor
okay.
will come.
Okay, that's very nice.
Counselor can take a session.
So I hope all our teachers are listening to this. This is a very strong message, and we must keep that in mind. Write it down if you have to, because sometimes when we're seeing our children being abused, we really don't know what to do. But we must do this. Call the family centers. Uh,
Every place has a family counseling center. Every place has a family counseling center.
Thank you, ma'am. That's a very, very nice bit of advice you've given us. Can we have the next question? Ma'am, who is your role model? Kiran, ma'am, we'd like to know your role model.
There are no big or small people. I think all good people. They all inspire me. Good deeds inspire me. Good writing inspires me. Good people inspires me. There's no one, but they're across. Every day you find they're not role models. I would say inspirational people, inspirational acts, inspirational deeds, inspirational happenings, inspirational speech, inspirational writing. So why must I wait for one model? I want to take inspiration from nature. Nature, how the flower blooms. To me, all this is inspiration. So there's no one role model. I think they're
Correct.
all models of inspiration.
That's very nice. Yes. Can we have another question? Ma'am, many students do not care about options like IT, arts, and crafts. Um, can you say something to encourage and motivate them to take things like arts and crafts and IT?
They need to understand, even if supposing they don't like it, Why not explain to them why? How will it help them?
Right.
So I think they need better communication to make them understand the value of IT and the value of art and craft.
Correct.
It's a way you communicate to them.
Yep. That's right. Another question, please. Francis, can we have another question? Hmm. I don't seem to have something.
Are we done?
They are, but I cannot see here. Personal touch is very important for young children. How do you think this will affect learning or developing rapport with teachers?
You'll have to do a lot of catching up. This will
Yes,
be a different generation.
yes,
And therefore it'll be interesting to see how different they are. But very soon there will be a catching up. It's not going to last forever, but it will be a uniquely different generation.
it will be. Like I was telling my sons today that I don't know how I'm going to be able to face my class because I'm always hugging and kissing the children and I'm making them sit in my lap. And I don't know how I'm going to do this physical distancing. So my son, who's 27, tells me that, Mom, you will come up with something, don't worry. And you will teach them as well as you did with them sitting in your lap. So I'm sure we will be able to do something like that.
Yeah.
Yes, because everything, actually, you're right. Sometimes, like you say, we don't know what's going to be, what we are going to be facing when we get out. No plan of ours is really going to work when we get out, and we're suddenly going to find everything's going to be different and yet the same, because we humans are going to still be the same with the same emotions, etc. Yes,
in
ma'am.
life in life they will see change, but not dramatic change of this kind. But having gone through a huge dramatic change of this kind, all other changes will be easy for them.
Yes, that's true. That's really true. How to keep children safe from social media influence now that they're constantly on the net? I think ma'am already answered this, but this is something which everybody is very worried about, and I think that's why they're asking, this question again. How are we going to be, safe from social media influences?
As I said, there's no shortcut to discipline.
True.
It's like discipline and time management at home. And what is the fixed time for what? I think that kind of a personal discipline is important.
Yeah.
And for that, the onus is on the elders, whoever they are at home.
Correct. Your advice when lockdown opens. What is your advice, ma'am, when lockdown opens?
Value that more. Value what you had lost.
Lockdown?
Value what you had lost, and experience it again, and be in the moment. See, value what you have gained. There are certain gains of today and there are losses of today.
Yes,
Similarly, there will be gains then and there will be losses. So live in reality, enjoy the moment, accept
yes.
the way they are, be grateful for what you have.
That's true. I think all of us need to be grateful to compare to the next person. We have so much. So we really should be grateful. We should be so grateful for the family that we have because there may be so many people who are in this lockdown alone. And, we should not be cribbing that, oh my God, there's so many people to do and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yes, that's really good. Ma'am, sports, how sports can help develop psychology in a child?
Sports can develop what?
Psychology of a child.
Oh my God, sports adds to the whole development of the child. Any sport. Sports is another area of the brain which, if you don't do it, gets not added on. Anybody who's had academics and sports, academics and extracurricular activities, academics and music, academics and art develops more holistically. Academics and social giving and community experiencing. It's all add. That's why I call all rounders.
That's true.
So if you're looking for all rounders, then all of them are essential.
That's true. And this message, I think, especially for parents who are so paranoid about their children and want them to, just leave everything aside and only study, 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 study. They forget that sports is what makes them too. So I think we can have one last question, right?
That would
So
be.
can we have how to balance work life and personal life when you don't have any helping hand?
Oh, but you have your time at hand.
You have your hands.
You have your time at hand, so you
Yes,
allocate time accordingly. It's back to personal discipline. You
true.
allocate time to get up, time to do what is urgent, and what will you do in the evening? What will you do in the morning? It's all back to, as I told you, we all had our levels of personal discipline
That's
before
right.
the lockdown. We're all experiencing the benefits or or the losses of it. Those of us who were already personally disciplined have taken this as another reality
That's right.
and taking life in its stride, while those who were not and who were they are very uncomfortable. So therefore, you see, we're all going through the pangs of our old past, which is
That's
becoming
true. So, ma'am, we come to the last few minutes. Is there any special message you would like to give us?
I think the world is now looking for better quality of human life, better quality of human beings. We've all suffered. What has happened is because the kind of leadership we threw up and the kind of humanity we developed. We need to create a whole new generation. And therefore, responsibility begins with every home, every child, every person. I think this world, if you're looking for a better quality of humanity, then every home has to contribute. So if we decide to contribute every child to humanity, but somebody who's develop the qualities of being a great human being, a good human being, who's qualified, who's skilled, who's educated, has a degree, has earnings, etc. I think that comes extra. First of all, who is he? What is she? Who is he? Who? The who is important, not what. Who? Let's
That's
start
right.
working on the who, and then the humanity would be a better place to be in. We are suffering of the excesses of the past. We
Yes,
blundered, we were violent, we put totally consumerism at the first stage. We wanted acquisition. We had somehow the other kill to win. Let everybody win. There's a place for everybody. I think that kind of compassionate human value systems have to come back. So if we can base our education based on values and then become what you want to be. First of all, who are you? From who
yes.
to what?
But that's very nice. Thank you very, very much, ma'am. And I especially will take a lot of your talk back with me, especially the one about awareness of self. And we should all, again, like you said, we all need to find ourselves first. And then we don't need external policing. So the children will have the policing, the parents will have the policing. Yes, ma'am.
So before you work on your children, work on yourselves daily.
That's great. Before we work on our children, work on ourselves. This is a message for parents and teachers and all of us. Find out who you are. So thank you, ma'am. This has been a wonderful evening and I'm going to treasure it forever.
So
I
if the
hope,
parents read something nice and inspirational of
yes,
who you are,
yes.
what you got to be, what the world means, if they would read and impart, I feel that's the best gift they can give to these children in this extended summer vacation.
That's really nice, ma'am. Go back to your spirituality, go back to the Upanishads, go back to the Veds, listen to your grandparents. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And before I end, I'd like to remind the viewers to subscribe to the YouTube channel of SLN Global Network, where they are currently watching the show. Thank you, Kiran Bedi, ma'am. And thank you, viewers from India and worldwide.
So
Thank you very much.
let's give ourselves a e hug.
Hug.
E hug. So let
Yes,
everybody do a e hug.
everybody
Everybody,
do a he hug. Yes,
everybody do a e hug.
a tight one. Yes,
Thank you.
thank you very much. Thank
Thank
you,
you. Thank you so much.
thank
Let,
you very much.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.